Hi, my YouTube family. This is Late Nights with Natalie Yvonne. I'm coming back at you with another video. Lately, I've been dealing with relationships, with cheating, with families, with unity, with a lot of different things because certain things in the world today, a lot of people don't like to discuss. But I feel like you never get through anything if you don't ever take the time to talk about it. And the more you learn, the more you grow and you get a better understanding. So today, we're going to be asking the question, and the topic is going to be who's leading you. In today's society, a lot of people say that they want a leader. Like most women, we say we want a man that's going to lead us and that's going to protect and that's going to provide, but when he show up on the scene, we're not really ready, especially if you've been a single mom for so long. You're not really trying to give up your independency to say, trust somebody to lead your family, trust somebody to take care of the finances. And sometimes it's not just an easy transition period, because when you're so used to doing it by yourself, it can be difficult just to stop and change up everything that you're doing and just totally put all that responsibility in someone else's hands and trust that they're going to do a great job at it. So we're going to be talking about things like that on today, because that's a good question. You want to know who's leading you, because not everybody that we're with is a leader. Another question I want you to ask yourself is, can they hear from God? Because it's not just enough to be in a relationship with someone in today's society and with everything going on in the world today, and they can't hear from the Father. You want to know that somebody can hear from God, have a connection and a relationship with Him that's going to lead you and your family in the right direction. He's going to tell you what it is that y'all supposed to be doing. He's going to show you the way, or even vice versa. If it's the woman, a man want to know that his woman is praying for him, that she's going on to God, that she has his best interest at heart, that she can hear from God and they're in tune and they're on the same path. Because the Bible says, how can two walk together unless they agree? And not to be unequally yoked with unbelievers. So you have to know that who you're in a relationship with, that they can hear from God. If they're truly, and when it comes to a woman that desires to be in a relationship with a man or desires a husband, you have to know who it is that's leading you. Because not everybody is capable of holding that position. So if you're liking anything that I'm saying, and if these videos are helping you and, it's bringing about a change in your life, I just want to encourage you to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, give me feedback so that way I can come back to y'all with some of the things that y'all want me to discuss. Because like I said, a lot of people are not going to talk about the things that need to be discussed in today's society, but it's something that we should deal with. So let's get into it. Submission. Submission to a man that's not being led by God can go bad. It goes along with who's leading you. You can have a guy in your life just because they look good, they're making a lot of money, they drive a nice vehicle, don't mean they hear from God. So where he's going, he can alter your life if he's not going in the right path. And trust me, I know. I've been in relationships with people that wasn't hearing from God and they weren't going the right way, but I was submitting to that. So because I was coming under agreement with that, my life and the direction of where my life was going, it was altered. Because now the blessings that God had in store for me, they were being blocked. They were being stopped because of who I was connected to, because who was leading me. Because whatever spirit is on that person, that can fall back on you. If God has put a stop and a block to that, and you're connected to that, then, I've heard people say it's like it's like residue, or it's like they say toxic people, or I've even heard people say birds of a feather flock together, or you eventually become who you hang around with. So if you hang around negativity all the time, eventually you're going to start being negative. If you hang around a person that's not going nowhere, then you know what? You're going to be stuck just like them. If you hang around alcoholics, you're going to eventually start drinking. If you hang around people that smoke and get high all the time, you're going to start doing it. If you hang around People that's promiscuous, you're going to start being promiscuous too. If you hang around people that ain't trying to go nowhere and better their life and build anything, you're going to eventually have the same mindset, because what you involve yourself in, you submit yourself to, you become like that. So women sometimes are rebellious because we say we want a leader, but we don't like the idea of having to actually come under someone, having to be under someone's teaching, someone's guidance, someone's authority, so we sometimes feel like that's a disrespect. Why he got to be the head, or why I have to come under submission to that, and how is he supposed to be the leader and this, that, and the other? Because that's the position that God put him in. That's the place that God wanted him to be in. He's supposed to be the head. He's supposed to be the provider. He's supposed to be the protector. He's supposed to be over everything in the home. But when you're not in your right mindset and you think that something is wrong with that, why I got to come under him? Why I got to submit to that? Because it's Bible. It's Bible. God said. You know what I'm saying? Wives submit to your husband. Now that's in marriage. Wives submit to your husband. But I even feel like if you're not legally married to someone and you say you want to be married to someone, learn to submit to people. If you can go to your job and submit to your bosses, why you can't submit in your home? Come on, let's be real. You'll get more authority and respect and attention to the men that are at your job, but you'll disrespect the one that's in your home, really? So you'll give them the best of you and come home and give your person that's with you the less of you? Like, come on now. We got to do better than that, because we can't grow and get to the place where we're supposed to be if we still have the same mindsets. And yet still, as women, we expect men to pay the bills. We expect them to take care of home. We expect them to make sure the children is good. Make sure I have everything I need to provide for the house. Make sure the money is good. Structure, guidance, and discipline. We want the man to do all the things that he's supposed to do, but yet we don't want to do what we're supposed to do. And that's truly respect, love, and honor this man. Men are so simple, and I'm learning it. You give them a hot meal, respect, love, attention, no drama, no confusion. They're happy. They're truly, genuinely happy. They're so simple. We make things complicated. We make love complicated. It's really not complicated. It's really not. I'm learning every day. It is so simple. But you have to be in the right position to be led by the right person, because not every person in your life is leading you down the path that you're supposed to go down. If God has a calling in your life and a destiny for your life, you have to know who's leading you. Even being in churches, if you're not sitting under the right leadership, by all means, you need to evaluate that, because a person can either help you or hurt you get to where you're supposed to be. In ministry, you could either be going towards towards the place that God has for you. You could be moving towards purpose or moving towards destiny, or you can be out of the will of God and thinking you in it. That's a bad place to be, because you can't hear from God. Because if you're spending time with the Lord and you're listening to him, you'll be able to hear his voice. He'll tell you what it is that he wants you to do. And if you're not listening to God, there is a leader, or there should be someone that you can go to that can give you the wisdom, the advice, the counseling, the understanding to help you. And this is men and women, because not many women want to submit to no man, especially if he ain't taking care of his responsibility. Let's just be real. Women want to submit to someone that they know they can trust to lead, someone that's going to be a role model for the children, someone that's going to protect, someone that's going to provide, not someone that's going to lay around all day, want to take her car, drop her off at work. You know what I'm saying? Women have no problem. Well, I'm not going to say that. Some women have no problem and would love to submit to someone that is walking in their dominance and authority and know who they are and being led by God. That is the most sexiest thing to a woman. Man, let me tell you, is when you can hear from God. You have a relationship with the Lord and you can hear him, that means you praying and you spending time with him. That means I could trust you to lead us down the right path. That means I could trust you when you go to God, that he's going to give you the right directions that we need in whatever moment it is. That means I could come to you and we praying for each other. I'm praying for you, you praying for me. When you hearing from God, she loves that. She might not tell it to you, and then she might, but we love and respect that, and we think that is so very sexy. Why? Because in today's society, we don't want to just keep linking up with any and everything. A lot of women, just like myself, mid-30s, get tired. Like, tired of the games, tired of the drama, tired of the confusion. So it's like we're looking for someone we can submit to, settle down with, build with. It matters. Let me give you a prime example. So I prayed a prayer years ago, like in 2020, January 2020. I was like, God, you know what? I'm tired of saying what I want. I'm tired of getting on here and saying, God, I want him to look like this. I want him to be like this. I want him to talk like this. I want him to, he just got to be all these different categories. He got to make this much money. I was just, just telling God what I wanted. You know what I'm saying? You know how we do. We just giving God our whole list. So I had it all just mapped out. And every single time I tell the Lord what I wanted and pray for what I wanted, he gave me what I wanted. But it wasn't really what I wanted. You know what I'm saying? Because that was only a temporary fix for an internal problem. And the only thing I was doing was just laying down with people and getting up. Eventually in life, you get tired of just laying down and getting up. You want something more than just a lay down. You want to be in a relationship that's more than just somebody that can lay you down. But you know what I'm saying? You get up feeling empty before you lay down with them. You get up feeling so emotionally drained. Like, what was the point and purpose? Because you get tired of laying down. So I got tired of laying down, and I started praying in 2020. And I said, God, this time around, I want what you want for me. I'm not picking it. I'm not going after it. I'm not doing that because, God, I'm tired. I'm tired of being emotionally drained. I'm tired of putting my heart out there to get stepped on. I'm tired of feeling used. And, I'm tired of love. Like, I'm just so sick and tired of all this, God. But matter of fact, I ain't even asking for me no more. I got serious with God and I said, God, I really desire someone that's a role model, someone that truly loves you, someone that's going to really truly just be there for my sons. Because you know what they need. I can't teach them. And I'm speaking to some parent on today. It's certain things that we cannot teach young boys. And we cannot teach them how to be a man. Even though they had different males in their life, it was like a whole bunch of village of people with different mindsets, different beliefs, different whatever. And my sons were grasping all of this. You know what I'm saying? But I knew that they needed some type of foundation that they can truly hold on to. So I prayed and I got specific with God in my prayer. And I remember watching Steve Harvey back then, and he was saying, write the vision, make it plain. So I started writing down exactly what I wanted God to do in my life. Like when it came down to my relationship, to marriage, to my family, to business, whatever I'm supposed to be doing, God, I'm being specific this time around. So it eventually showed up. But the downside about it was I wasn't preparing myself for what I had prayed for. That's key for someone. When you're praying and asking God to do something in your life, after you pray and you're really trusting and believing that he's going to do it, start preparing for it. Prepare for what you're praying for, because God could do it just like that and you don't even know it. You know what I'm saying? You could turn the corner and bam, you can get up the next morning and go to work and bam, you done got the promotion you've been trusting and believing the Lord for. You can leave and go down the road and bam, somebody tell you, hey, I want to sow $10,000 until you start your own business. You could be praying for that child and bam, they done immediately came home and got themselves right. You could be praying for a family member and they done called you and told you, hey, I gave my life to the Lord and, I'm feeling so much better and I didn't think I could ever come out of that, but I don't know, just something changed. Any day God can just do a suddenly type of thing. So while we're praying, we should be preparing for whatever it is that God is doing. That's where faith comes in at. But anyways, let me get back to that. So the dream, I mean, not the dream, I'm sorry. So what I prayed, I actually got. But I didn't actually see my prayer in certain areas of what I was looking for. It's like, I say it like this. Things were happening right before my face, but I was so blinded to it I couldn't see it. Like, I had some foggy shades on. That's what was always told to me. You got them doggone foggy shades on and you can't see what's going on. And I really couldn't. Because, like, my mindset was all off. I was so used to something different that I couldn't see what was actually really in front of my face. So I prayed and asked God to open my eyes to what I wasn't seeing, and He started doing it. So y'all, just the other night, my son come out and he's like, he's telling me he wanted to apply for this job or whatever, and I'm like, okay. So I kind of just, let it be what it was, and I thought about it. I said, I'm gonna ask this boy, why does he want that job? So I asked him, I was like, so, why do you want this job? What makes you want to do that? He said, because of this one particular person that's in my life that made me feel like I want to be like him. Because he's a leader. He's a role model. He's a man. He gives me discipline, yet he shows me love. He takes the time with me. If anybody I want to be like him. And him, I'm just paraphrasing, but when he said it, it's like it just touched my heart in such a way because I have forgot some things that I had wrote down on my paper. And let me tell you something. You could forget something, but God does not forget what you prayed and what you asked for. He does not forget. And He does not lack concerning His promises. If God promised you something and He told you He gonna do it, you stand on His word. And you trust and you believe Him, because this is 2 years later. And I'm listening to my child come out and say certain things like this, like, this is my hero, this is my role model. This is the person that I want to be like. And for so many different reasons. And I'm like, well, I'm looking at things one way, but my children are grasping and picking up all this because it matters to them. And that's what I pray and ask God for, someone that would be a leader and a role model for my children. Show them the right ways. Teach them the ways of God. Not like the world does, but actually just be that person in their life. And it is bam. I'm awake and fully alert, and I can hear and see what's going on. So I caught all that, and I was like, God, I thank you. I got emotional, y'all, of course. So I went and sat down and I just got myself together. And I came back in with my kids, but I was like, man, God, you're amazing. That's why it's important to know who's leading you. And can they hear from God? Because you have to have been hearing from God to know, hey, this person is praying this prayer. So I'm going to move you around this area and take you around this way and bring you in this. So that way y'all can connect and meet up. I'm going to allow certain things to happen so that way you can be in this place or that place, so that way y'all can connect and meet up. Why? Because your prayers and her prayers going to line up, or this and that. God have a way of bringing everything back to where it's supposed to be. He does not lack concerning His promises. He just don't. Just the way He do it, we don't always understand it. I know. I be trying to understand, but I'm starting to stop trying to figure it out, because it's not for me to figure it out. But submission is a learned behavior. It's a learned behavior. You have to learn to submit. You have to submit to somebody. And I'm talking about men and women. Men don't have to submit to women, but the Bible says it's good. Be submissive one to another. Not that your woman is your footstool or anything like that, or women not talking to this man like he's beneath you when he's the man, because there's a time and a place for everything. There's a time for us as women to be dominant. If we're at our jobs, we're running things, that's your time to be dominant. That's your time to do what you're supposed to be doing. When it comes to the children, putting them in their place, that's your time to be dominant and make sure you're authoritative and doing what you're supposed to be doing. When it comes to them, they're supposed to be listening to you. You're not supposed to be dominant when it comes to your man. You're not supposed to be dominant when it comes to your husband. No, you're supposed to be loving, kind, humble, sweet, soft. When it comes to your husband or your man, you're not supposed to be all dominant and try to run and control him. No. You run your kids. You run things at your job. When you come through that door, man, change your hat. Get in place. I was told if I was in my place, already nobody should have to tell me to get in my place. If I was in my own lane, doing what I'm supposed to be doing, nobody would have to tell me to get back in my lane. And that's true. Because I prayed and asked God for something and He's done that. Why would I try to step outside of that lane and do something else when I knew it was stressing me out? I knew it was weighing down on me. I got tired of my hair falling out. Excuse me, y'all. I got tired of going through all these little different things. But here it is. I was praying for change and better. Then when change and better came, I want to say, okay, you done did enough now. I got it now. What? If you'd have been doing it right, you'd have had all this stuff together. But you didn't. But now you want to wait till your help comes in play. Now you want to say you got it all together. No, you don't. And let me tell y'all something. Everyone hears from God, whether if it's being spiritually or naturally. But not everyone is listening to God. Not everybody's obeying God's voice. Okay? Someone that's being led in the natural can lead a home. They'll never have to go to church. They'll never have to crack a Bible. They can lead a home just as well as a person that's praying and spending time with the Lord and reading a Bible. It doesn't make a difference, and that's male or female. The male pretty much leads, provides, and he sets everything in motion in the home. Who's leading you? Because you have to know that the man is man enough to be in that position, that he can handle that. Because not every man is qualified to be a leader or capable of being a leader. And not every woman is willing to be submissive and come under subjection to this man that is ready to lead or be the head of a household. So who's leading you and who are you willing to follow? Come on, think about it. The number one rule for a woman, they say, is to feel safe. She want to feel safe with someone she knows can lead her and is hearing from God. But let me add a little nugget to that. And let the truth be told, men want to feel safe with a woman as well. I just learned that men can be scared of women because they don't know what's coming out of her mouth, how she gonna act, is she gonna flip her lid, is she gonna go off, is she gonna trip, whatever. I just learned men can be scared of women. Like, I heard a lot of people, men don't want to marry, men don't want to commit. No, it's not that they don't want to commit. It's not that they don't want to get married. I've listened and learned they're just scared of the women, because I was told that once they get married, the women change. Like, it's like we feel like we don't have to do the same things that we did to get this person to keep this person. If you were working hard before, grinding before, keeping yourself up before, smiling and all this stuff before, you know what I'm saying? Once you get married or you got in a relationship with him, like, shit, I ain't got to do all that here. Or man, like, I was buying her flowers, I was cooking, I was doing this, I was doing that. Yeah, I was taking the time to go see her because it didn't matter, whatever. Nah, I ain't got to do all that. She ain't going nowhere. What it took to get that person will be the same thing that it takes to keep this person. So men want to feel safe with a woman just like a woman want to feel safe with a man. Men want the same thing women want. It's just different. Because if you was to meet this man, let's just say this was a person that you truly loved and cared about, and y'all was in love, like deeply in love, and you know, y'all passed away and came back in another life, and he was the female and you were the male, wouldn't you want to fall in love with that same person again? Like real love. I ain't talking about that wishy-washy. You know, we've been dealing with a whole bunch of stuff lately. That type of love, man. They want to feel safe. They want to know that you got them. They want to know that you're not going to trip when they come through the door or be clowning over little stuff or whatever. That's my timer, y'all. But just think about that. I'm going to come back at y'all with another video. Because in relationships, companionship is so important. Companionship. And you have to remember, and this is going to be the next video, relationships are a contract. Relationships are like a contract. That's coming up in the next one. And we're going to deal with some things, because you can't just say you want to be in something and then as soon as it get happening and get popping and you don't like things, you get bored or whatever, you ready to get out. Nah, we ain't got time for that. But I'm going to go ahead and stop it right here. Again, this is Late Nights with Natalie Yvonne. Natalie G. That's all it is. Natalie Yvonne Goffney. And I'm so blessed to be able to come on here and share my ideas and my thoughts and my words of motivation. And remember, I'm not right about everything, but if you like anything that I've said, like, share, subscribe, and also give me some feedback. And if y'all want to sow, Cash App. Cash App, $ Crazy Faith 0826. I love y'all, and I just want the best for each and every single one of y'all. Y'all keep believing, keep moving, keep looking up. Later.